Hey guys, what's good? Derek here from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ and we do it one bite at a time. Yesterday we covered the first 50 verses of section 88, kind of. We hit some little parts there. But the words I wanted to focus on, and I showed you these, it's God, light, kingdom, law, and glory. And so as I was thinking about this, I wanted to focus on some of the next verses, and particularly about the 62 to 68 range. There's some wonderful things here. In fact, you start with verse 62. It says, "Again, verily I say unto you, my friends," I always love that, "I leave these sayings with you to ponder in your hearts." So all the things that he's just talked about with verses 1 through 50. "With this commandment which I give unto you, that ye shall call upon me when I am near." And many of you know this verse. It's such a good one. "Draw near unto me, and I will draw near unto you. Seek me diligently, and ye shall find me. Ask, and ye shall receive. Knock, and it shall be open unto you." I love how this verse requires us to be the ones who do I guess, we are the ones who have to take the initiative on this. It's like the picture you're familiar with of the Savior standing at the door and knocking. It's like, "I'm here. All you got to do your part right here." So I like that. "Draw near unto me, I will draw near unto you. Seek me diligently, and ye shall find me. Ask, and ye shall receive." So there's things that we need to do there. Verse 64, "Wherefore, what ye ask the Father in my name, it shall be given unto you. That is expedient unto me." And then you go down to 66, "Behold, that which you hear is as the voice of one crying in the wilderness. In the wilderness, because you cannot see him. My voice, because my voice is spirit. My spirit is truth. Truth abideth and hath no end, and if it be in you, it shall abound." I talked to you yesterday about this talk from President Nelson called "Truth and More," which is such a good talk. But you keep in mind this idea of, if truth abideth in you, then you are going to want to draw near to Jesus Christ. In fact, there's a cool little message I think about when I think about this idea of, when you finally take the time to draw near to Jesus Christ, you're going to find that light and truth. This is a perfect example of this, so watch this.
I first started gangbanging when I was like 9 years old. I would walk to school, my shirt off, I'd sag my pants to the floor. I was just waving up gang signs like left and right. I thought the gang life was for me. My father was in a gang, and he was murdered when I was 3 years old. There were guns on my bed. Our house got shot up. I saw people getting in fights. This man moved from California to Tennessee to get away from it, and it still ended up killing him. My stepdad was also a member of the same gang my dad was. He grew up super rough too, and kind of took a lot of it out on me. I suffered a lot of abuse from him, verbally, physically. And that was when I started to learn to take all of my feelings and suppress them. It got to a point where I wore this mask and no one knew the depth of my hurt other than me. When I first got involved in gang activity, I would, wear my clothes a certain way, and smoke cigarettes, get in fights, and I'd bully people, and I did all kinds of mean things. I got to a point where I would do anything to make everyone afraid of me. I went on to school one day, and one of those kids tried to step to me, and he wouldn't back down. And I was the kind of alpha that I was just not going to lose. I said to myself, I think I want to kill him. And I told my group of friends that, and they said, "All right, let's do it." I knew that I would go to jail if I did this, but at the same time, I thought, well, I'm already getting beat up at home, so jail probably will be the same. And we all had the same class, and my friend starts kind of flashing this knife. This girl saw him doing that. She told the teacher, and then suddenly we were caught. And this kid who was about to stab somebody for me, I looked at him, I said, "What are we gonna do now?" And he just started to cry. And I'm like, "What are you crying for? Don't be no punk." He said, "I don't want to be around you anymore. I don't want to be like you. I don't want to know you. I just want you to leave." And my heart was breaking as I listened to him. So my home life didn't really change. I just couldn't take the abuse from a grown man. I attempted suicide 3 times. Now I'm starting to, drink, do drugs. I felt like the world was closing in on me, like there was a dark wall in front of my face. I couldn't break through this and I couldn't see the light. Like it was just dark. I had made the decision, I'm either going to leave or I'm gonna kill myself because I'm not gonna stay right here. I was at a party. I met this guy. He was of a Christian background. He was dropping me off at my house and I told him I'm running away. And he said, come stay with me. So the first night I went, I hid in the bathtub, because I was so scared that his dad was like my stepfather. The next day, we're walking out to meet his dad, and he's like this tall, giant man, and the front of his shirt says DEA. This man was one of the greatest examples of love that I have ever in my entire life come across. I literally wanted to be just like them. I quickly came to know what it really meant to be a loving, kind, gentle, compassionate human being. And this family showed me that. As I kind of sought to know, what is it that makes you guys so loving, so different? They explained to me that it was Jesus Christ. It was his love and his grace, and by them living that example, that's what I'm feeling. I started to pray every single day. I decided I'm gonna live virtuously and live purely. And I started to learn how to pray deeper and how to really, express all of my feelings to God. I was going to seminary, which was a class where you learn about Jesus Christ. And the teacher asked everybody, she said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be a good man in front of and behind closed doors. And I felt the love that Jesus Christ has for me so much that I had never felt before in my entire life. This is a whole new world. Surely there is a God and he loves me. I was angry at my stepfather for so long. I was just angry. I actually got to a point where I was able to forgive him and love him. My nature changed. Who I am as a human being is different than who I was. Now I have a purpose. I have a destiny. I have somewhere that I'm going. I know this for sure, that it is only through Jesus Christ, my faith in him, that will help me get to where I want to get to.
I love that message because, and I think I've even used it before in a previous BOM-BITES episode. I love it so much because you see this guy who is he's searching. Once he starts drawing near to Jesus Christ, then he's able to start seeing these things happen. He's starting to see more light. In fact, there's a quote here that he even says, I felt like the world was closing in on me. I couldn't see the light. It was just dark. No one knew the depth of my hurt other than me. And then all of a sudden you see this, I sought to know, what is it that makes you guys so loving and so different? They explained to me that it was Jesus Christ. And so this idea of all of a sudden this kid starts drawing near to Jesus Christ. And as he does that, you see the Savior becoming more of a part of his life. And I really believe he starts seeing God in his life, which leads to the next couple of verses I want to focus on. Verse 67, if your eye be single to my glory, which is what this guy did, your whole body shall be filled with light. I love the light that this man exudes. And there shall be no darkness in you, and that body which is filled with light comprehendeth all things. That's where I look at that. It's like, I sought to know and I got this. Therefore, sanctify yourselves, that your minds become single to God, and the days will come that you shall see him, for he will unveil his face unto you. And I know that gets exciting. You think, boy, God's going to show himself to me. This next part is so crucial. And it shall be in his own time, and in his own way, and according to his own will. And you see that. I really believe this young man we just watched the video about really saw God. He did. And he saw him in God's own way and his own time. And I love that. And as we draw near to the Savior in our lives, he will draw near to us and we will see him. And we will often see him through other people. And I love that. So anyway, I hope that helps you out. Just a few verses today. Tomorrow we're going to take a little bit of a different route, and you're going to see where we're going. So anyway, enjoy. Godspeed. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.